Hold on to your seats, folks. We've got a very, very big story we want to talk about here. I'm Mark Levin. Our number, 877-381-3811. 877-381-3811. By the way, I spend more time dealing with radio stuff behind the scenes. It is so frustrating and annoying, you have no idea. I think I'm going to write my next book about all this. Name names, all this silliness. Might be interesting. You might be interested in it. Anyway, here's the big story. This is from CNN. And CNN, quite frankly, along with Fox, along with Charles Atkinson over there at CBS, have done a good job, a very good job, trying to get to the bottom of this Benghazi attack. Oh, Mark, more Benghazi. Folks, stick with me. CNN's Drew Griffin, a reporter, has broken a story, and it's an exclusive, and it's on Jake Tapper's blog at CNN.com. CNN has uncovered exclusive new information about what is allegedly happening at the CIA in the wake of the deadly Benghazi terror attack. Sources now tell CNN dozens of people working for the CIA were on the ground that night, and that the agency is going to great lengths to make sure whatever it was doing remains a secret. I'm just reading what CNN is reporting. CNN has learned the CIA is involved in what one source calls an unprecedented attempt to keep the spy agency's Benghazi secrets from ever leaking out. This is CNN. Since January, some CIA operatives involved in the agency's missions in Libya have been subjected to frequent, even monthly polygraph examinations, according to a source with deep inside knowledge of the agency's workings. The goal of the questioning, according to sources, is to find out if anyone is talking to the media or Congress. It's being described as pure intimidation, with the threat that any unauthorized CIA employee who leaks information could face the end of his or her career. In exclusive communications obtained by CNN, one insider writes, "You don't jeopardize yourself, you jeopardize your family as well." Another says, "You have no idea the amount of pressure being brought to bear on anyone with knowledge of this operation." Agency employees typically are polygraphed every 3 to 4 years, never more than that, said former CIA operative and CNN analyst Robert Baer. In other words, the rate of the kind of polygraphs alleged by sources is rare. This is a CNN exclusive report. If somebody's being polygraphed every month or every 2 months, it's called an issue polygraph. And that means that the polygraph division suspects something, or they're looking for something, and they're on a fishing expedition. But it's absolutely not routine at all to be polygraphed monthly or bi-monthly, said Baer. CIA spokesman Dean Boyd asserted in a statement the agency has been open with Congress. Quote, "The CIA has worked closely with its oversight committees to provide them with an extraordinary amount of information related to the attack on U.S. facilities in Benghazi," the statement said. This guy sounds like Darrell Issa. CIA employees are always free to speak to Congress if they want, the statement continued. The CIA enabled all officers involved in Benghazi the opportunity to meet with Congress. We're not aware of any CIA employee who has experienced retaliation, including any non-routine security procedures, or who has been prevented from sharing a concern with Congress about the Benghazi incident, the statement says. Among the many secrets still yet to be told about the Benghazi mission is just how many Americans were there the night of the attack. A source now tells CNN the number was 35, with as many as 7 wounded, some seriously. Again, I'm not breaking this story. I'm reporting to you what CNN is reporting. I guess I'm going to make this go viral, no question, because it's been sitting there for about an hour, hour and a half. While it's still not known how many of them were CIA, a source tells CNN that 21 Americans were working in the building known as the Annex, believed to be run by the agency. The lack of information and pressure to silence CIA operatives is disturbing to U.S. Representative Frank Wolf. This Frank Wolf, if we ever get to the bottom of this, This Frank Wolf is a hero because he's taking on John Boehner. He's taking on these committee chairmen, not in a nasty way or an intemperate way. He wants a committee that is directed only at investigating this, and he can't get it despite the fact almost 70% of Republicans in the House have signed up for one, have asked for one. Wolf has repeatedly gone to the House floor asking for a select committee to be set up, a Watergate-style probe involving several Intelligence Committee investigators assigned to get to the bottom of the failures that took place on Benghazi. And ladies and gentlemen, I am the one behind the microphone who's demanded the same thing. And not only for this, for the IRS. More than 150 fellow Republican members of Congress have signed his request, and just this week, 8 Republicans sent a letter to the new head of the FBI, James Comey, asking that he brief Congress within 30 days. Lawmakers want to know about the weapons in Libya and what happened to them. Speculation on Capitol Hill has included the possibility the U.S. agencies operating in Benghazi were secretly helping to move surface-to-air missiles out of Libya through Turkey and into the hands of Syrian rebels. This is CNN. It's clear that 2 U.S. agencies were operating in Benghazi. One was the State Department, the other was the CIA. The State Department told CNN in an email that it was only helping the new Libyan government destroy weapons deemed damaged, aged, or too unsafe to retain, and that it was not involved in any transfer of weapons to other countries. But the State Department also clearly told CNN they, quote, can't speak for the other agencies, unquote. The CIA would not comment on whether it was involved in the transfer of any weapons. Okay. Now it's becoming a lot clearer to me. Now it's becoming a lot clearer to me that if this CNN report is accurate, there was a black ops going on at that consulate. If the CNN report is accurate, you don't have 35 CIA operatives or up to 21 in a particular location. They're not playing poker. They're not starting an organic garden. They're there for a reason. And one level after another of obfuscation and obstruction and cover-up. It's becoming clear, isn't it, ladies and gentlemen? The President of the United States, mum, the Secretary of State, week after week, even months, unable to testify until she ceases being Secretary of State. Yes, the Speaker of the House refusing to appoint a select committee, just assume have these chairmen trip over each other. It's now becoming clear to me, again, if the CNN report is accurate. If it's not, well, we'll deal with that one day. But I don't think Jake Tapper, who is a serious, straight-shooting reporter, would associate himself with a report like this unless he was fairly certain, if not completely certain, of its accuracy. Now, you've heard this here first, because most of you don't listen to CNN. It's not anywhere else right now. And it ought to be discussed at great length tomorrow, hopefully, in conservative talk radio. This, if accurate, is an absolute blockbuster. You know, folks, I am well familiar with the Iran-Contra affair. No, I was not involved in it. But I represented individuals in that matter. And it was nothing like this. Nothing. This is 1,000 times bigger, if true. 1,000 times bigger. And this cover-up has been going on for 11 months. And this cover-up went on through the presidential election. We're learning an awful lot about this administration. I sure hope so-called conservatives on Our favorite cable station and other places aren't going to tell us yet again, like the NSA story, oh, what's the big deal? It's all a big deal. Dozens of CIA operatives on the ground during the Benghazi attack. That is stunning. No wonder they didn't call in the fighter jets, Mr. Producer. No wonder they were called off. No wonder the president didn't convene an emergency meeting of his top military and national security people. No wonder the Speaker of the House won't appoint a select investigative committee. This is absolutely stunning. We'll talk more about it when I return.
Mark Levin.
Sounds like music from like the Bravo channel. James Brown. Or James Brown. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, the big story, and it is a big story, reported by CNN, reported by Drew Griffin, reporter for CNN via Jake Tapper. Jake Tapper, who I have complete faith in, he is a terrific reporter. CNN has uncovered exclusive new information about what is allegedly happening at the CIA. Dozens of CIA operatives were on the ground during the Benghazi attack, and now the CIA brass, reportedly, is putting the shoulder on everybody to make absolutely certain they're not talking. This is amazing. And there have been rumors and rumors and rumors on Capitol Hill about gun running, possibly surface-to-air missiles out of Libya through Turkey into the hands of Syrian rebels. People keep wondering what happened to those weapons, what happened to those weapons. Congressman Frank Wolf, one of the senior Republicans in the House, and really not a man to take on the leadership in the House either. That's just not his temperament or personality. He's a very nice man to boot. Demanding over and over for months a special oversight committee. As you would expect, as is common and traditional under circumstances like this. And I bring it up, and my buddy Neil Cavuto mentions it to Darrell Issa, and Darrell Issa is all defensive. Mark, he wasn't there when I was meeting with John Boehner. What does that have to do with anything? You want to get to the bottom of this, or don't you? And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, this is also rare evidence of a working media. The media in this country, for the most part, are the Praetorian Guard to this president. But obviously, Jake Tapper's not, and this Drew Griffin's not. I mean, there's a small percentage of the journalists out there who are really journalists. And here's a couple of them. This is a real story. Dozens of CIA operatives on the ground during the Benghazi attack. CNN, dozens of people working for the CIA were on the ground that night, and the agency is going to great lengths to make sure whatever it was doing remains a secret. Obviously, the way it's being investigated isn't working, is it, ladies and gentlemen? Is it, Darrell Issa? No offense, sir. But get your ego out of the way. Let's get down to business here. As I say, somebody who was an attorney in the Iran-Contra matter, I can tell you right now that if the rest of the media were real, not just a couple of reporters at CNN, and not just Fox, and not just Cheryl Atkinson or one or two others, if the rest of the big media were real, this story would be headlining right now on every damn station and the nightly news programs. At the top of my show with the network news, they'd be saying, what the hell is this? Did Congress approve this? And of course Congress didn't approve it. This is Iran-Contra times 1,000. And so far, almost nothing. But I'm going to change that. I'm changing it right now behind this microphone. This is a real story. And if it's accurate, it is explosive. It means that the President of the United States, the former Secretary of State of the United States, who seeks to be president in 2016, don't fool yourselves, that they have lied to the American people, have lied affirmatively, have lied by omission. And what for? Again, if the story's accurate, I say it over and over and over again because I'm not the first-person reporter in this case. I am bringing to you what CNN reported earlier. And it's the first time I've heard that there were dozens of CIA operatives on the ground during that Benghazi attack. But it all makes sense to me. The cover-up makes sense to me. The hush-hush makes sense to me. The difficulty Congress is having in getting witnesses makes sense to me now. The disappearance of these weapons, it all makes sense now. Doesn't it? And here's one other thing. If this story is accurate, and again, several reporters are putting their names on it, when the President of the United States and the Secretary of State, among many others, pointed to that video that that poor SOB made out in California as the reason for what took place in Benghazi, ladies and gentlemen, that is a complete, unconscionable lie to the American people.